Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Forge FC 0, Vancouver FC 0 in Canadian Premier League 2023 Match 6. Forge still undefeated. Top of the league still, 12 points. But another draw for Forge. 3 wins, 3 draws. Not too bad of a season so far. Vancouver being tough throughout this game denies Forge 3 points, and Forge's own sloppiness, especially in the first half. Halftime, it was 0-0. Again, the first half, Forge dominated the first 20 minutes, but they were very sloppy at the back. Luckily, no bad situations, no bad shots towards Colongo or bad mishandled saves. But the back line, the defense, definitely did not look the best throughout the first half. First 20 minutes, Forge does have a lot of chances forward. Then Vancouver sort of settles down the game for another 10 minutes. They get a chance or two. But then Forge sort of brings it back around. Very sloppy first half, but Forge in the end still doesn't allow a goal. Luckily, Vancouver does not make Forge pay for their sloppiness, which they were very sloppy tonight. They were very lackadaisical tonight at Tim Hortons Field. Vancouver was a very tough, rough and tumble team, tough nut to crack. Still, when things got really good for Forge, still tough nut to crack, because in the second half, again, no goals there as well. 0-0 at the end of the game, the second half. Forge were the better team. Forge were the better team in the second half. They were a little bit sloppy until about the 60th minute, but they make that triple sub, bring on Borges, Becker, and Campbell. Then they bring on Akinyoti Janssen and Morgan, Ashton Morgan. Once they brought on some of their better, older players, they started really turning this game around. They really should have scored a goal. Hell, even in the first half when it was sloppy, they should have scored a goal. But they took the initiative. The last 30 minutes were all Forge, one-way traffic. They still couldn't find a goal. Callum Irving stands on his head, and they deserve a point. Vancouver does. Forge, arguably, still deserve 3 points, but again, Forge, too lackadaisical in the first 45, and then the first 15 minutes of the second half, way too lackadaisical, and they put themselves behind the 8 ball. And they started getting better throughout the game. They really made it one-way traffic late on. But again, not enough for Forge. 0-0 to end the game. No goals. 5 out of the last 6 halves of games I've done haven't had any goals. Doesn't look so good, doesn't it? Full-time stats, 18 shots to 9, 70% possession to 30% possession, 3 shots on goal to 0, 607 passes to 252 passes, 85% pass accuracy to 60, 9 fouls to 8, 5 offside to 2, 2 yellow cards to 3, 0 red cards to 0, 7 corners to 6. Again, I pretty much said everything I needed to say in 4 minutes. But I'll go again. I'll give Vancouver their plaudits. As a expansion team, they're top 4 in the Canadian Premier League now. They are in 4th place with this draw. Vancouver is a tough team. They're a tough nut to crack. They play tough football. They're on you like white on rice. If they could get a counterattack, they'll get it. But if they can't, they're just going to grind you down to a pulp until you draw or lose. Luckily, Forge was too good for that, but they also sort of nearly shot themselves in the foot a good couple of times. I think if they were a little bit more careful and less sloppy, they could have won this game. They put themselves in a position where they wasted a lot of time. Put themselves in a position where they didn't give themselves chances to beat Vancouver. They should have. Vancouver should not have won this game. They did not, but a draw they do deserve. They were very tough defending. They were tough in the midfield. They trailed their runners. Vancouver, I like the tactics. They played a great game. They're starting to get to their own level. They're starting to build together. It's an expansion team. Their second game was a Canadian Championship game. Of course, they lost to York when they played that game. Not surprisingly. They've been rocky, but they found their way through. I think they're starting to figure things out. Of course, they probably played their best game because they were playing Forge, who are three-time champions, who are undefeated this season. Of course, they're going to play their best game against Forge. That's not a question. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing that Forge drew this game. It's bad because, I wouldn't say it's bad, but looking up against the next game they play, looking up to the next game they play, they're playing Montreal at Stade Saputo Canadian Championship. I do want Forge to win that match because, well, Forge is my CPL team, but it also is a little bit of revenge for my boys in red, you know? If Forge were to win. It's good for me on both ends. It just is. So, with that being said, Forge needs to be better on Wednesday. That is a 100% fact. And we will be live for that match, and I will watch it, and I will hope that Forge beats a really hot Montreal side. They did just lose to Cincy. They will play on the weekend. But you got to look at the situation and say, Forge, yes, they're hot in the terms of the Canadian Premier League. Yes, they're a good team. Yes, they're playing well. They did not play well tonight. Could it have just been an off night? Maybe. Could it have been a bad game? Maybe. Could they have sucked because they sucked? Maybe. Did they rotate to save some energy for Wednesday? This could be true. That's possible. Very possible. Tristan Henry on the bench. Becker on the bench. Started on the bench. Borges starting on the bench. Campbell on the bench. But honestly, I'm good with Hamilton. Especially now. Akinyote Janssen on the bench. Morgan on the bench. Think about it, you could say, yeah, makes sense. I'm not too mad about the situation, but I'm definitely not 100% happy with the match. I think, personally, Forge could have won. They should have done better. They cared for 30 minutes, put on their best players, and got damn close to winning. They did not win. They should have won. Vancouver, plaudits to them for holding down Forge throughout this game. That I will say. But Forge sort of shot themselves in the foot throughout the night. Throughout the match, they shot themselves in the foot. They should have played better. They should have played tougher. They should have played with more care, more want throughout the 90 minutes, not just the last 35. What do? Maybe they're trying to save stuff for Montreal. I'll understand it. I'll be happier with a draw if Wednesday goes Forge's way, whether that's through penalties or through 90 minutes. If it goes their way, I'll be a lot happier with the draw because that's just the way I see it. The way I see it is Forge should have won. They should have been the champions they are, but they weren't. Makes you wonder, you know? It just makes you wonder. Vancouver's a good team. Forge should have won. Point blank. Point blank, period. What can you do? Man of the match for me, I got to give it to Callum Irving of Vancouver. Nobody on Forge really earned it, I would say. I'd say Callum Irving stood on his damn head to make this a draw. So honestly, I got to go the other way. I got to go with Callum Irving as man of the match. I do. He stood on his head. He stood on his head. It wouldn't have been a draw if he didn't. There were some moments where he should not have made saves that he did. So, good for him. Not bad when it comes to Callum Irving drawing this game. So, with that being said, that's my thoughts. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us on playlists. Share us for your friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for a live watch-along and review of Austin FC versus Toronto FC. See you tomorrow. we're a bit busy. We're really busy, and it's going to just get more busier and busier. But I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace.